Yo, 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 the boat is back afloat after a few week hiatus. We told you we was coming back on July 12th. Here it is, July 12th. It feels like it was a long 2.5 weeks, but it was a short 2.5 weeks at the same time. This summer, man, is flying by. But without further ado, tapping in from Kentucky, it is Michael Smith, aka Smitty. Fellas, tap in.
Hey yo, it's Marcus J tapping in from Dallas. Spent the last week or so in the Philippines. It was a great trip. I am happy to be back and happy to be using my own shower. That's probably the one thing that I miss from that Philippines trip is I just need good, hot, running water. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to be back here, man.
Boy, you sound like a first worlder. Uh I'm Ferg, man. D Ferg, man, coming Midwest. I'm a few hours away from Smitty in Kentucky. He's in old bourbon country. And yeah, I was on a family I keep saying family vacation, but it's not a vacation when your kids tag along. And I just know by the end of that trip, bro, I was sick of my kids, I was sick of their kids, I was sick of
Oh,
everybody.
you went with another family?
I went with the entire family, man. Like so, like nieces and nephews, and I was done, bro. But
You was on a
they
family
were
trip, not a family
yeah,
vacation.
family trip exactly. I mean, Hilton Head is beautiful, bro. It was slave hot. It was. I'm talking about like you step out and instant sweat, and then they want to be on the beach every day. I'm not much of a beach guy, but I did a
Yeah,
couple
sound like
days.
me. Sound like me. I'll be out at the pool with a towel over me. I'll be at the beach, a towel over me. Like I'm not. I don't need to get tan for why.
Look, it's funny because they were like, "Man, we going to get tan." I'm like, "The Lord did right with me." Like I've won. Okay, I've won. There's no need for me to be out here. But I mean, we had a tent and everything. But the place we stayed at had like a pool underneath. So I had one day where everybody went to the beach. Man, I literally stayed at the pool, had me a drink, had a movie playing. It was quiet, bro. It was a little oasis. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I know y'all seen Barbershop, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
And I didn't even realize till years later that was Kiki Palmer in the scene.
yeah.
But my kids have never seen the movie, but there's just certain things like that I quote from that movie. One of them being, "Oh man, they got a basketball court."
Bro,
But
nah,
another one is Kiki Palmer whenever Cedric the Entertainer's talking to her at the cookout, and Queen Latifah's there, and they're talking about she's like, "This is burnt." He said, "Nah, you see that woman over there? Now that's burnt." So one time we're at the mall and we're walking around, and Memphis looks at this lady and goes, "Now that's burnt."
Nah.
Ooh, you can always count. You can
That
always
boy,
count on the kid, bro.
they gonna
They
be
don't know the
honest.
time. They don't know the time and the place. They don't know the time and the place.
But they gonna say it. You can always count on one. Nah,
Yeah,
man. It was funny, man, because I feel like it was like you had one kid kind of like crying and fighting. It's like every few minutes, a kid was crying, a kid was pushing another kid. Mostly my youngest was pushing and bullying everybody. It felt like
who should
I
get
was
that
just
from?
I'm just like, bro, you're gonna get punched in the face. And I'm just say you deserve it. Like I can't. I'm like, bruh. But it was good. I mean, the drive sucked. It was a 12-hour drive, so that sucked.
I
Yeah.
might have missed it. I think I missed it. Where'd y'all go?
Hilton Head,
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was dope though. It was dope, man. But yeah, that drive, boy, that because I mean, we got there. We went to Chicago for my brother's birthday party. Then we woke up Sunday, drove 7 hours to Asheville, stayed in a hotel. Woke up Monday, drove 5 hours to Hilton Head, and then in Hilton Head, and then drove like split the drive on the way back. So it was just a lot of just
That's a real
driving, bro.
family vacation right there, man.
Bruh, because I ain't
No,
flying.
no, no, no. Rephrase it. Family
Family
trip.
trip.
Family
Family
trip.
getaway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm just babysitting my kids in another state. That's really what it is. That's really what it is. At their age, it's not a vacation. I'm just babysitting them in another state.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. Well, we're glad we could all be back. Like I said, July is already flying by. The fact that we did our last pod in June and July, by the middle of this week, we'll be halfway over is crazy. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
we're about a month away from school starting, a little over a month, well, less than a month away from something we'll talk about here in a second, this J. Cole concert coming up, which feels like we got the tickets forever ago. Feels like we talked
Right.
about it even longer than that ago. But the fact that we're in the 1 month countdown to that, I'm pretty excited for. But without further ado, let's go ahead and kick it off with what we do best and what we know best. At least we tell ourselves at the NBA. So we're gonna
Right.
start. We're gonna start off with our favorite offseason move. So Marcus, why don't you go and tee us up?
Bro, we was getting when I was in the Philippines, I'm 13 hours ahead, and when my phone started blowing up, man, I was up in the middle of the morning, or I don't know what it is, but I'm getting these alerts when I'm half asleep and everybody else is half awake, or I'm waking up to these alerts. And the move that probably bothered me yet made me happy all at the same time. The move I liked the most, but I was just so like question mark about. I did not
Mhm.
see the LaMelo ball move, him getting traded to the Wolves happening. Like when it
Yeah, that's
happened,
fair.
there was like a report like 12 hours before from Shams talking about the Hornets are looking to move on LaMelo. They're taking offers. I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, what does that mean? You're
Yeah.
always taking offers. Like you're always offers, but 12 hours later, this dude is shipped to the Timberwolves. And if you would have told me this move happened like last summer, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
After they just had like probably the second half of the season, the best second half of the season they probably had in ever, probably.
yeah.
Like
Since the Zoe and Glenn Rice days, at least.
yeah, seriously, because I mean they don't have a lot of happy memories to look back on, and for them to get rid of that quickly and to think about like I think Khan Knipple was number two or number three in three pointers last year. LaMelo was number one, and then Brandon Miller had just entered the top 20 in threes. And I was looking at that offense saying like this is the offense of the future. This trio is going to set records together. This trio is going to
Yeah.
do something amazing. They just need a full season now, and they just need a full season healthy. And to know that they shipped that man off for a few swaps and a one number one pick and Nas Reed, I could not believe it. But yet, I was so excited for LaMelo because I feel like all he really needed was you need a player that is better than him, like an alpha on the team, like Ant Edwards,
Yeah.
and then you need LaMelo just to run the offense. And I was
Yep.
thinking eventually Brandon Miller would be that guy that's better than LaMelo. Like he's the guy you could count on both ends of the floor, and LaMelo just runs the offense. But now the timeline just moves up for LaMelo. Like I think he's in the
Yep.
perfect spot. I think it's going to open up like the lob threat for Rudy Gobert. Like back when
Yep.
Mike Conley was still effective, he was getting Rudy Gobert a good 15 points a game just off dunks.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I think Lamelo's gonna eat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Rudy became ineffective on the offensive end when he no longer had a point guard. So that was probably
Yeah.
my favorite move and least favorite move all in one right there.
I would I like that because I feel like the more I thought about it, I'm like LaMelo can score 20, 30, 40, probably even 40 points if he need to. But I feel like that's probably gonna happen is even sooner now, just because you have to play honest defense. Like you can't leave. Who you gonna leave? You can't leave Ant. You know what I'm saying? And if you go, like you said, like LaMelo's so dynamic of a playmaker that Rudy Gobert's gonna eat. What like who else? Who else they got on their team? Because you chipped out Julius Randle. I think
Jaden
I
McDaniel.
Jay
yeah, Io
McDaniels. I
Io's
think
in the
he's.
starting lineup.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Io. So I think like
Nas Reed still.
No,
no,
Nas
Nas
Reed's
Reed. He went to
he
Charlotte.
got shipped to
Oh,
the
you're right,
Hornets.
right,
Yeah,
right, right, right,
Yeah, he
right.
went
Yep.
to Charlotte. Yeah, no. So I thought that was a good trade, man. Like I wouldn't say I don't even say I hated it. I just thought it was like, oh snap. I didn't know that was gonna come. Like, I didn't know that was gonna happen. But I can see this Warrior. I can see this Timberwolves team being. I think they're gonna be underratedly pretty good.
The thing I like about it the most is I feel like the Wolves are a team that whether you consider it a good move or not, I feel like Tim Connolly is the type of dude that is always looking to make a move and he's always looking to do
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
And
and
for him to keep a guy like Anthony Edwards in Minnesota, I feel like that's what you have to do. You have to be aggressive
yeah,
and you have to make moves before you really need to make them because
yep,
we've been saying it, at least I've been saying it in the chat, is that Anthony Edwards about a year from now is up for an extension. If he doesn't sign that extension, it would not shock me if he's asking to go to Atlanta or asking to be traded.
yep.
But
It's curtains.
this trade makes it where he's like, all right, I can at least trust that this team is always going to try to put a winner on the floor. Whether it works
Yep.
out or not, the Julius Randle cat trade probably didn't work out the way they thought it would. The Rudy Gobert trade has overall, I mean, they gave up a lot, but it's worked out.
Yeah, it
But
has.
you can say they are trying to put the best team on the floor, and I think that's
Yeah.
all you can do when you got a player like Ant.
And they still got even Bones Highland still there. So I'm like
I forgot about that. Yeah,
so yeah, like so they still got some guys that can go. you probably, I think losing Nas Reed was a, was a tough loss at the front court. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Just because of what he can do. So I don't know if you necessarily can get the same level, but if you can try to fill up that front court a little bit, I don't know, man. I think they can make some noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I really like about it is that I think it solidifies them as a top 6 seed again next year. Like I
Yeah,
feel confident saying that. Like whether they're a contender right away, I mean that remains to be seen how the fit ends up going about. But like you think about it, like they have all NBA defender and Gobert. Yeah, all NBA defender and Jaden McDaniels. I think
okay.
Io is an all NBA level defender. He's never gonna get that kind of credit, I don't think, but he's on that tier or maybe like a tier
Yeah,
under. And then they always say Ant, um, he's a good defender when he wants to be one. And I always felt
yeah,
like when he wants to be one is because he's got to carry so much offensive load, like he can't
yeah,
sacrifice energy for defense. Now
exactly. Yeah,
LaMelo running the ball, running the offense. He could play off ball a little bit, take some
yep,
plays off, all that kind of stuff. Like he should be energized on defense.
yeah.
So,
He'll be able to
it,
guard.
yeah, I think the team seems a little thin outside of the five, but you got to trust those guys like Bones Highland, who could be an offensive production right there. You got to trust like
Yeah,
Joan, I think Behringer is his name or something like that. He's the backup center.
yeah,
Like now you just got to trust your young guys, Jalen Clark. There's a couple other guys I missed, but it's just time for them to step up. So
yeah. No, I feel. Yeah, I like that trade. I mean, speaking of trades, I'll probably say Stellan stay in the offseason trade I actually liked, and I was really surprised by you guys already know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Mr. JB
Jalen
to
Brown.
Philly. Mr. JB to Philly.
yes,
And
sir.
and I like that trade. One, because and I know everybody, I
Be
like
clear. Be
both. I
clear.
like
Who liked it for who? I think
I
we know, but let's just say it for the
yeah,
people.
I liked it for Philly. I liked it for Philly, and I also liked it for well, I don't know if I didn't I liked it for Philly because I think for Philly, you now don't have to fully count on Embiid being healthy for an entire season. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, here's the thing, not here's the thing. Last season, we talked about, we mentioned on the pod, JB had a MVP worthy season. He had like because at one point, like we even said, like, dang, like Tatum go down. I don't know if I don't know if they go back. And he pretty much gave the middle finger to all of us, like, yeah, okay, watch
Yeah.
this. And I feel like for me, and I think I've been saying on pot, I do not feel like the gap between him and Tatum is that far off. I understand that Tatum has a more attractive game. Tatum's the bigger player, because he's still a Tatum like 6'10", you know what I'm saying? Can move like he move. But I always felt like the thing with Tatum's game is JB plays how I want Tatum to play. You know what I'm saying? Tatum play like, he gonna get a picture taken of him every, you know what I'm saying? He want to be picture perfect sometimes. And JB
Yeah.
play like, yo, I'm gonna give you work, you know what I'm saying, however you want it. And so I feel like with JB, VJ, Tyrese Maxey, and I'm just like, that's a hard team to ignore. You know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, you got a better version of Paul George in Philly now, a younger version. And like Paul George, he ain't trash, but he's not, Paul George. He's not, Indiana Paul George or OKC Paul George. He's just older, right? So I just feel like right now, I think it's kind of like, oh yeah, that is a pause. You right. That's nah, we ain't gonna lie. We can slide. Give you word. You right. That's pause. We're gonna pause that. We're gonna pause that. But no, man, I just feel like I like that trade a lot, man. Because I feel like people Celtics been playing with his name for 2 years now. Because every time a trade come up, well, Jalen Brown, you always hear something about Jalen Brown every time, and I'm just like, fam, y'all got two of the best wings in the game. Do not give up. You're in a position that most people will kill for. You
Yep.
cannot give
Yep.
it up. And I feel like they play with his name one too many times. And I don't even think he even asked for a trade, maybe at least not publicly.
Nah, he never did.
And then it's like you send him to you pretty much send him to the guys up the street.
Yeah.
I was just like, bro, what are y'all doing? So I feel like now it's like, okay, cool. Tatum has to show that he's the number one guy. You have to show it. The pressure's on him now. Where you have
Yeah.
to show that you're the number one guy. Because now I feel like you got a pissed off Jalen Brown. Jaylen Brown's gonna hoop in Philly, and not only is he gonna hoop in Philly, y'all just said Derek White was better than Jaylen Brown,
That was crazy.
which is crazy. I don't give a excuse my French. I don't give a damn how good of a season Derek White has had. Derek White and Jaylen
He
Brown.
tailed off this past year.
That was the problem. It was probably D White's like worst season in like
Yeah.
years since the
Hey,
Spurs.
this is no disrespect to D White because I think D White is a dope player. D White and freaking Jaylen Brown are never in the same atmosphere.
Facts.
I can tell you that. I can tell you that for sure. They're never in the same atmosphere.
He's a good ancillary piece.
He's a great ancillary player. You got a guy that could potentially be like 1A. You know what I'm saying? Like one, and I know people say, no, he's 1B after the season he had yesterday. Is like he can probably be a 1A. And we want to kind of get semantics. I personally think Tatum trying to come back messed up their playoff run.
Yep, we talked about it.
Like it messes the run. And not saying Taylor's trash, but it throws the chemistry off. It throws the rotation off. Because you can't ignore Tatum when he's out. You gotta let him get the shots, get the rhythm. So yeah, man, I like that trade a ton. About that trade.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the trade I probably like dislike. Actually,
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll come back.
We get that. Okay, cool.
Marcus jumped the gun there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're done with that. We're done with that.
I get what you're saying. I think the biggest issue I had with it, once they put out there that they were trying to put him in the Giannis trade, I think they kind of had to trade him.
You had
it sounded like they scoured the market, so it doesn't seem like they just did a thief in the night trade like they did with Luka, but it still just feels like
it feels wrong. It feels weird.
Just if that's the best trade you got out there, that trade is going to be there come training camp. Like just wait it out and see what happens, or try to get them in a room. And short of dudes pulling pistols like in the office where they're all like got guns on each other, like short of that, I would just try to figure it out and just say, let's go into the season with what we got. But yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like I hear what you're saying, Mike, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it's almost like you already put it out there. So I don't even know if you can go into the season because it's one thing if this was a one-off situation. This is probably the third or fourth time y'all done did this to this dude. Where a big name come on the market and he's in the trade. Everybody's off the everybody's on the table except Jason Tatum. It's like no. Everybody's off on the table except Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. These are the people that's off the table. So I feel like every year has always been something like that. So they had to do it. But then two is like you can't. Not only do you have to do it, you can't go into the season constantly playing with this dude's name because y'all just don't like the way he moved because he don't move the way that y'all want him to move. Because as they say, he's too smart. Y'all can't play him. He's too smart.
Yeah.
Mike, you was gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, all I was gonna say is that it was a point of no return, and I think at the least you just have to wait it out and see.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a solvable problem at that point, but I do think if you can make that trade that they made now
later.
The Sixers have been trying to get rid of Paul George since a month after they signed him. So that trade is going to be there in September. That's my biggest thing is just wait it out and see what else is there. His value wasn't going to get any lower from what it was. But for me, my
hold on.
move,
Let me comment on this. Hold up. Let me get up in here real quick because I got something to say. My main frustration about this trade is that we had our best debates on Tatum and JB this past year because I kept saying that I think JB was going to overtake Tatum this next season. Like you can't come back. That's not your team. And obviously I was wrong, at least theoretically, because they said, nah, this is Tatum's team. You got to get up out there. But I wanted to see it in action. I wanted to see what happens when you bring a healthy Tatum back. Now that JB did all NBA. D's been consistently saying the gap isn't it's dang near 1A, 1B. And Mike's been saying, nah, it's Tatum's team regardless, whether it takes another year or not. And so I just wanted to see how it would play out. Obviously, the front office didn't like that we were debating that, and they said we got to go. We're not going to let this play out. So that's my biggest frustration with it. And the secondary frustration is that the media, bro, the way the media treats their darlings is pisses. Like if they don't like somebody, they don't like somebody. Like them saying, okay,
Stephen A. Smith,
if all the analytics say this, then dude, Jaylen Brown is one of like maybe 2 or 3 NBA All-Stars that since he's come in the league, he's never played on a team that had a losing record. Like there's
Never.
freaking him and maybe like one or two other players that it's a very short list. Like it's a really short list. How can you use analytics against a guy who's never played on a losing record team? Like that blows my mind. So
Because the thing is, if you're gonna use analytics, he has to affect that team in a negative way somehow, and
right,
he has not done that. The smut that they put on this dude's name is
like
outrageous. Because it's kind of like he should have been on a USA team.
yep.
He should have got the I think what was it? It was an All Star. He got snubbed. Was it an All Star? He got snubbed.
Yeah, he got snubbed the year he took a step back. So they could like when
Yeah,
he started averaging 23, 22, he didn't make all
Like
NBA
20,
or all
2020,
star or something like
2020,
that.
2021.
and the thing is, he's got every year he's been in the league, he's gotten better and better and better. At
Yeah.
one point, it's kind of like, oh, well, he can't dribble with his left hand. Last year, you couldn't take the ball from him,
Yeah.
so he tightened that up. So I feel like I feel like it's almost a situation of this reminds me, and it's almost like verbatim. KD and Russell Westbrook, where the media picks who they love. And again, you can say like I know, and I'm a Russell Westbrook, guy definitely. I do know that KD from a talent perspective is above Westbrook. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's like the same thing. It's like we penalize the thing of a player that we fall in love with. Like Russell Westbrook, he gave us triple doubles. What was it? 4 years in a row.
Something
And then
crazy.
we start writing it off like, man, well, he just stat padding. It's like, wait. Don't we want a player to give everything on a court and do everything to win? Like, what are we talking about? And it's like, if it's so easy, why can't your favorite players do this? I'm just like, why can't we do it? Now, it ain't pretty. It ain't got to be the prettiest thing, but it's like, yo, you know what you get with him. And I feel like
Yeah.
with JB, it's like because the media love Jason Tatum, it's almost like we love Jason Tatum. We gotta hate Jaylen Brown, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, love both of them.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. I just feel like you don't break up a tandem like that while they're still young. They have not hit their prime,
We
and I
don't
feel
have
like
enough time.
JB gonna
Uh,
cook. I feel like JB gonna give Tatum all he wanted more when they face off. That's gonna be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to give the energy that it properly needs. But we're gonna
Yeah.
come back to this.
Oh,
I
we
promise
got
you,
to
to our listeners, we're gonna come back to this over and over and over during the season. I promise that.
promise.
One thing I'll
Every
say before we move on to our next topic, before to my topic, I think as somebody that is borderline light skinned, I tried to tell y'all this was
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's team. I tried to whether it was right or not, whether I agreed with the reasoning or not.
Yeah.
There's still, and I'm joking, but I'm kind of serious too. Like the colorism is at effect when it comes to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I will still die on the hill that I think Jason Tatum is a better player. I think
Yeah.
the gap has closed, but I think Jason Tatum being a clean cut, light skinned guy that just kind of, I hate to say it because I don't agree with this, but
Hmm.
he
He's a
kind of
more
just
marketable
he
player.
plays and goes about his business, whereas JB is going to tell you what he thinks, and he's a
Yeah.
darker guy, and he's a little bit more brash in a way that maybe makes people a little bit more uncomfortable. So
That
Yeah.
light skin
Absolutely.
telekinesis right there, boy. He,
It is.
I'm not
It
saying it's
is.
right. I'm just telling you what
No,
I'm
no,
calling a spade a spade.
he's whoa, that's crazy, man. Our ancestors, relax, Mike. That's what no, just like no. I no, I see, I hear what you're saying, and I think he's right. Tatum's a more marketable player, and this is no shade of Tatum. We all love Tatum on this pod. And
Do
we're
we?
not
Do
no,
saying.
we?
no, we
I know,
don't.
Do we? Do we?
Speak for yourself.
I know. I'm a fan of Tatum. I'm a fan of
two
Tatum. I
two
just don't.
thirds of the group. Two
Yeah,
thirds.
I'm a fan of Tatum. I just don't like when people make it seem like Jaylen Brown he's some type of scrub, or he's operating the Tatum shadow. And I'm like, I don't think that's a correct assessment. You know what I'm saying? I think he got his own orbit, that's pretty much on par with Tatum. You know what I mean? But I think Tatum is at least from what Celtics saying, he's a more marketable player. He's a player we want. Again, like you said, he's not gonna do the thing that make us uncomfortable like Brown's gonna make us uncomfortable. And I think Brown in Philly is probably the perfect market for that because Philly gonna love Brown.
Yeah, they got a bunch of Hotep earrings out there ready to give them. But yeah, so my favorite move at
Stupid.
offseason, we'll move through this one a little bit quicker because it's probably not going to be as hotly debated of a topic, but the move hasn't even officially gone through yet. they're aspiring for it to go through, but it has
Oh
not
yeah,
gone through yet. And
we know
that,
where this
and
going.
that is going to be Kawhi Leonard back to the Raptors. And I think that is because that takes them from being a team that loses in 7 in the first round to the Cleveland Cavaliers to honestly, and I say this knowing that Kawhi he only needs to be healthy when it matters for them, and that's a big if.
Yeah.
But if he's healthy when it matters for the Raptors, I think they're knocking on the door of Philly and of New York. I think Celtics are going to take a step back. I think the Pistons, like so, those 4 teams. I think this puts them over the hump because I mean you're looking at that roster. They got R.J. Barrett still. They got Quickly. They got Shed. They got Colin Murray boys who they love. They got Scotty
Mhm.
Barnes. He gets to be in a more relegated role of not having to be the dude, and I think he settles into that role behind Kawhi nicely. And that's on the defensive end. Kawhi can take some breaks, but when it's time to turn up the gas, and you got Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard guarding wings, like good luck. So
Yeah,
I just think that is a move that makes them from being, oh, they're a cool story, like Darko is building a nice team with them to, oh, like
Mhm.
they could really be a contender and make some noise in the East and make the finals. So that's my favorite move, pending that it
yeah,
goes through. I think it will go through. It just may look a little different than what's out there right now.
yeah.
That's fair.
I mainly liked it.
It's gonna go through.
Yeah, it will. We'll see what the penalty is for the Clippers. I liked it more for the Clippers, to be honest. I think it works out well for the Raptors, but the biggest thing is like the Clippers were stuck in the mud just a year ago. Like, what do you lost out on PG for nothing. It's
Hmm.
good you didn't re-sign him, but like you didn't get anything for him. Kawhi, the whole deal. This aspiration stuff is looking shaky. You owe your pick to OKC, all that stuff. Now they got Darius Garland, a younger dude than Harden. They got a
Yep.
couple extra picks that they might lose on, but two first round picks for Kawhi, who's had a crazy injury history. Like that's something. You got the Pacers' fifth pick, which turned into what's the dude's name?
Keaton Wagler,
Zubac.
Wagler.
Yeah, Keaton Wagler. Yeah,
Oh yeah, keep
so
going.
you sold Zubac on that 50-50 draft pick deal, and you got Keaton
Hmm.
Wagler. Like the Clippers have turned it around in my mind. So I like this
Yeah.
trade mainly for them. It's dope for the Raptors because they needed someone to help Scotty. Scotty did everything in the playoffs. A lot of credit to him,
Mhm.
but he's not a number one option. So
Yeah.
mutually really good trade, I think.
No, that's fair. I'm not upset with it. I think is a good trade. They got some big contracts off their books that's taking you know taking some things off their books. I'm really not mad at that. Um I would probably say dang and I had it in my head like my least favorite trade.
I'll go ahead if you can't
Uh
remember.
yeah,
Uh,
you go ahead. Give me a minute because
it's
I know
Ja
I
to the
got
Blazers. It's Ja to
that
the
was my trade. That
the
was
the
it. Like I
the
just
other
had
day,
it.
Darius said your favorite player just retired. I thought they were talking. I thought he was talking about Drew Holiday, bro. I almost cried in my room. He was talking about Kyle Lowry, and then I celebrated. I threw a party for Kyle Lowry. Get up on out of here. But the reason why this trade was my least favorite is because there's too many ball handlers. Like you
Yeah,
got Dame coming back from the Achilles torn
yeah,
Achilles. Like Drew Holiday was a starting point guard last year, and he was good
yep,
at that. Like when he played, he
yeah,
was 20-7 essentially. And then Denny
yeah.
Avdia, he essentially is
It was another biohazard.
he's a point forward. Like he's
Yeah.
a point forward. So none of them are like. I mean, Dame's a pure shooter, but what is he off ball now? So
Mhm.
wasn't my favorite trade. I thought it would be good for a lot of teams to pick up Ja and just take a chance on his 2 year deal, see if they could rehab his image, all that kind, rehab his play. But I didn't like it for the Blazers.
Well, I mean, you see, and I forget. I think 520 pod I was looking at. And of course, I don't know how true this is. They sent John to Portland so he could save Nike. You know what I'm
That's the first
saying?
thing I
But
thought. First thing I
they
thought.
save so he can save Nike, man. Like right now, he don't want the kids want to be, so he got to save Nike. But no, I mean, I it was my least favorite trade because I'm like you said, for that reason, it's like, okay, y'all got Drew Holiday, you got Dave. Okay, how is this gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Like I can't really couldn't see the vision. So I'm just curious of how it's gonna work. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out. I think it'll be good for John to probably be around a Dame Lillard. You know what I mean? Somebody. I think John he's just one of the players like you kind of need him to be around somebody that has the star power that he has for
Yeah.
him to listen. Like, I didn't say listen like he's some kid, but listen, almost like, bro, you don't burn your own boat down. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
Scoot, get well soon, because you ain't gonna see a lot of day on that court,
oh
bro.
yeah, Scoot, yeah, brother, you might look, well, look, hey, brother,
Hey,
you
you
might
know
as
who
well
gets
be
lost
careful about putting them insoles in,
and
big dog.
who gets lost in all this is Shaden Sharp is a good player too.
Yep,
And what does that
Yeah,
mean
he's
for
a
yeah.
him?
shooting guard.
What is he gonna do? So yeah, I'm
I
curious
mean,
to see how this night
they
works,
got a lot of shooting guards on that team, and Ja is the biggest shooter of them all.
bruh,
He
bruh,
gonna take all the shots. Yeah, I'm sure there's a
bruh.
lot of playing time on their G League team.
Hey,
Yeah, hey, look, get your
they
reps
love they
in,
love
big dog.
they love gun control in Portland, but they gonna have a hard time with it now.
Hey, get your reps in, big dog. I'll probably say my least favorite trade, just because I mean, and I don't even think it's a bad trade, but it's a trade where it's kind of like you said, like, oh, okay, I get it. You got to feel the need was probably Walker Kessler to the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Where like I said, it wasn't like again, I don't think it's a bad trade, but it was like, oh my God, like that's a. He was like, it's like, yeah, no, y'all needed a big. You know what I'm saying? Like you needed a big. You got Luca. You just re-signed AR. So you need somebody in the paint, and because DeAndre Ayton ain't gonna do it for you. So
Yeah.
so yes, I mean like I don't know, man. I feel like with the Lakers, man, I'm just like I'm looking at them build over there. I'm like, y'all, I don't think y'all gonna still be relevant. I think if Luca healthy, I think Luca's gonna be Luca. You know what I'm saying? I think they're now like really turning over like, hey, this is Luca team. We're gonna build around him. You know what I mean? Like picking up Colin Sexton, picking up, Walker Kessler. I think they got Jaden Hardy from Mavericks,
Yeah.
which I thought was a pretty good pickup. So they building something over there, but it's like I'm not looking at them like, oh my gosh, like they about to go get a chip. It's like, no, you might mess around, trick yourself into a playoff spot.
I know we try to do different takes on this, but I'm just gonna double down on the Lakers because I wrote down not just Walker Kessler, but I wrote down they let Rui walk.
Yeah,
Yep,
crazy.
yep.
They gave Walker
I,
Kessler. I won't say it's a bad deal, but
what was it like 30? Was it
$32.
he was gonna get 28 was the offer from the Jazz. They gave him 4 million more than that, but they gave up. They don't have any control of their picks until 2033. So I get it, and I understand that you gotta go all in with Luca, and this is the time to do it. But I mean, Quentin Grimes is a good player, but it's like you got Luca and you got Austin Reeves. Like Quentin Grimes, how does he fit next to that? Because he's not big enough to
To
guard
play small
bigger
forward, right?
wings. And then you got
yeah.
Colin Sexton, who's probably a good third guard, but it's like, all right, if you didn't bring in Quentin Grimes, it maybe makes a little bit more sense to bring in a
Same
guy like
thing.
Colin Sexton.
Yep.
But you have four guys that really can only play between two different positions. And
Yeah.
then it's just, I don't get what they're doing. I think I told y'all back when, when, what, a couple months ago, I was like, I don't think the Mavericks should want Luca in 2028. But the more that Rob Pelinka keeps making moves, I'm like, one, like Nico gifted this man Luca
Right.
to the Lakers because it's clear that Rob Pelinka is not really that competent at his job.
No, he isn't.
But I'm starting to think like Luca, they clean house in Dallas. He might get a wandering eye because the Lakers just ain't doing it, man. They're tricking it off this offseason to
It's
me.
it's crazy to let assets go when you have no assets. Like,
Yeah.
how does that make sense? Like, you have no tradable picks in the next like 7, 8 years, something like that, and then you let Rui, who shot dang near 60% in the playoffs, you couldn't do
Just
a
walk
sign and
out.
trade. You couldn't figure out something. Just sign him. Just sign him. Sign him to
And he
the
got what
same
14
deal,
million
and
dollars a
then
year. They signed him for
yeah,
basically a mid-level exception.
sign him and then trade him halfway through at the deadline. Like, sign him, and I don't get that. I don't get how anything valuable you just let go. Like, you lost
Marcus Smart, I don't love him, but he was an asset. He was an asset in the playoffs for that team.
And
you
he's with the what Rockets now? Yep.
Yeah.
you lost your whole front court
Hmm.
with nothing back. LeBron is gone,
Jackson
Rui's
Jack
gone,
Jackson Hayes gone.
Jackson, Hayes, and Ayton. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, nobody wanted Ayton anyway, but like the
I
fact that
would
your
take
whole
Hayes back though.
yeah,
I would
the
have took
fact that
Hayes
your whole
back.
front court is gone for nothing is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was wild times. They
they
could have
need.
gotten Daniel Gafford for like clearly the
Hey,
Mavericks are trading him.
Yeah.
Go get
hey,
him.
they need to go ahead and start looking at Palenka like, yeah, I think you look like you want a vacation, big dog. You want a
Uh,
sabbatical.
Yeah.
uh, at this point, who's gonna want that GM job? You come in and you can't make any moves. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
you're not.
can't
What you gonna
make
do? You're not gonna
nothing.
trade Luca. I mean, at least we don't
That
think.
you know, brother.
Crazier things have happened.
But what are you gonna do? You can't trade nothing. Like maybe he secured his
I'm
job by this
trade
way.
trade.
Trade everything away,
Hope
so
Austin
nobody
Reeves
wants his
balls out and
job.
trade him.
Yeah, I
Bruh,
guess.
That's all you
yeah. I
got.
don't. We ain't about to be talking about Lakers for at least next 5 or 6 years. Luka about to
No.
be pissed.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the one time we're talking about him is when Luke is leaving.
Yeah,
But
yep.
speaking of flagrant moves, let's go ahead and slide over to our make him say huh of the week. So Kylian Mbappe has been balling out in the World Cup. So they just made it to the semifinals, but they play Spain on Tuesday. But before that, they played Paraguay and beat them 1-0. Paraguay was playing dirty, which US I wish they would have played a little bit more dirty and showed a little bit more heart. But
I'm, if think is main thing, I ain't gonna say the movie because it was before I Love the Lord, but it was it was a one line said, "Man, did you at least peach the chick?" like,
Oh, Lord.
and we all know that movie. That's why we all started laughing. Did you at least peach the chick? That's how I feel right now, bro.
yeah, it was like that meme with the US was like, go ahead, do something with the stick, the kid with the stick.
Like,
Um, but yeah, so France beat Paraguay in the round of, I believe that was round of 16.
yeah,
And after the game, the goalie went to shake Mbappe's hand, but again, they played dirty kind of all game, and Mbappe just kind of ignored him, but kind of talked trash to him. So after the game, this senator, her name is Celeste Amaria, called Mbappe everything but a child of God. She
yeah,
basically
a
called him
chimp,
low class, called
a
him a
monkey.
monkey, said he should be drinking from coconuts,
No.
and basically
Oh yeah,
after
she went in.
said a bunch of flagrant stuff, and Mbappe
She
came
went
back and
in.
condemned her, rightfully so, and said, "I will not let racists win ultimately." And she came back and essentially was like, "I said what I said. What I said, I don't
She doubled
apologize
down.
for it." She was like, "I don't apologize for it, but I know it was wrong." But she was like,
Huh?
"I grew up in an era where we beat gay people in the street, and we
No,
called
she
black
said no.
and
She didn't. She didn't
and
say
we
that.
called and
Yeah,
we called
she said
honey
all that.
and we called black people nigger trash."
No,
So
she
she
didn't. No,
said,
no, 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 no.
"No, listen. So she says essentially, she basically said, the Lord is not through with me yet. Be patient with me."
She wanted
No,
Grace.
bro.
She
His,
she said it. She said it in Spanish, but she said it where it could
here's
be translated.
you want to know the topper is the icing on the cake.
Uh
She said that he owes her an apology.
Mm-hmm.
huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
No,
icing on the cake.
Yeah.
He owes her.
no.
Let me tell you something. I feel like we live in a time now where racist people. We live in a time where people aren't afraid of being punched in the face.
Yeah.
Like people just aren't afraid of it. And I'm not a violent person, and I don't think I'm a tough guy by any stretch of the imagination. But I just feel like you know how miserable your life gotta be for you to hate black people so much when we ain't thinking about you at all. You know what I'm saying? Like when black people just ain't thinking about people at all. And just like instead of being like, yo, my team lost, whatever, you go on a whole tirade saying the only sounds he heard was chimp noises and he drinking from coconuts. If I'm in Bobby, I would have thought it was hilarious. I'm like, well, you just got beat by a coconut drinking monkey. And guess what? And your country's still poor. Like I would just like start doubling down on stuff. Like, what are you talking about? But I just feel like she made her whole entire country look bad.
Well, is
And
she the president or
she
something?
was like a senator.
Senator. She's a senator.
Oh no.
She's a
You know
So I
senator.
just
what?
I just feel
I
like racist. So we got to start ruining racist lives again.
I
Like we
blame
got,
Trump, man.
bro.
No,
He's
I
on the
don't think
I
boat.
none
mean,
of this.
Wait,
these countries have been racist before them. I mean, between Paraguay and Argentina, you think about
They've
South
been this
America,
vocal though.
South America. Yeah, Argentina is known as, they're basically the South Africa of Central
I
America,
got to
because
do
you
my
you look at
history,
it,
man.
every country around Argentina and Paraguay has black people except those countries. Why is that?
Well, yeah. I definitely noticed when I looked at the roster and I was trying to find the black people on the roster. They were
They
near the
like,
bottom.
if you know who Diego Maradona is, he doesn't look black at all to me, but he basically was considered black in Argentina.
He
That's
had a
about as
fresh
black as
lineup
you.
or
That's
something. He had a little fade.
He just, his hair was a little kinky, but it's like that's about as black as you can get in Argentina.
yeah.
Even Mexico had a
Bruh,
black person on their team.
bruh.
I was like, when did Mexico get black people?
You know
That's
what?
that's it.
I'm
Oh,
not
look,
like the racist people in America don't seem that bad to me anymore. Like I ran into a
Hey,
fair
hey, easy now, easy now.
like I had a neighbor and he was trying to show me something, on the outside of my house trying to help me fix something. He's like, "Yeah, I'm from East Texas." And he's like, "You know what they call this right here?" I said, "Don't say it." He said, "But I don't mean it." I said, "Don't say it, then." I said, "We was cool, but we gonna have a problem if you say it." And he said they call it something rig out there. I said, "Jimmy
Yeah,
rig?" He's like,
no, no,
that's
like that
he said that's
crazy,
not the word they use. I
crazy,
said, "Good.
crazy,
Let's
crazy,
keep it
crazy. You
that
say
way."
that. Crazy you say that because I got stranded in Tyler, Texas, East Texas,
Uh-huh.
back in February. I had to get a tow truck,
Uh-huh.
and I'm riding in the truck with the tow guy, white as a KKK blanket,
Uh-huh.
and and he's like talking to me like in a normal conversation. He's like, yeah, and we had to nigger rig it, and I like I
Like,
was so
bro,
I was so like I'm riding the truck with this dude. I don't know if he's gonna pull out a pistol and shoot me if I say something back. But in my mind, I'm like, this dude really just said this to me like it was nothing.
I guess it's
Like
a
it
weird
like it
thing
was
because
like it was
I'm from the
nothing.
Midwest. I heard Jimmy rig my whole life.
I had
oh
too, but
yeah, I heard it,
I've never in my life heard that term until that dude said it.
Yeah, so
bro.
I say all that to say like they're not so bad here.
Here's the thing, bro. We gotta stop. I feel like people. I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? If you racist and you get caught, I just hope your life gets ruined. Like I hope you can't pay your bills. I hope you can't. I hope you get enough money for food. Because I feel like why should you have sustenance to sustain that hatred? Just sustain that hatred. I I
Yep.
I, I, I saw some online where this chick, she pretty much was saying like, she said she was 38. And she pretty much was saying that the reason that she looked as good as she looked, which is very subjective, because I was looking at it, I'm like, we got two very different definitions. But she pretty much said because I said she keeps black people out of her life. And
Yeah.
I was just thinking like maybe you should insert some black people is because your 38 is a hard 38. Like it's like if you would have said 68, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like you aging like a banana. Like you aging like milk on the counter. Like this is 38 in dog years. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do some math to get to how old you are for real. Like it was just to the point where it's like you aging like you're gonna be a leather belt if you go out to the sun too long. Like I'm just saying, like, we just got actually at this point we shouldn't even hate races. We should start roasting races. Just bring that back because it's kind of like just show them just how unbothered we are by y'all. Like by your existence, you're so hateful. We're just gonna start roasting you. Because think about it, nothing pisses a person off more than when you trying to hate a person and they start talking about you think about it, like you ever been like made fun of and people laugh around you and they know you and then you get talked about. How hot do you get? You like, I want to be mad. He just keep making fun of my anger.
The worst one is you think you got one up on somebody, so you start going in on them, but then that person's like, actually, I got a whole list of things I'd like to say to you.
Be like, I know
Right,
you ain't
I'm
talking.
I am prepared.
When you hear that, I know you
right.
ain't talking. You're like, oh shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I remember I saw this one post. Somebody was trying to be racist. They said they called pretty much refer to black people as a moon cricket. I've never heard that in my life, and I thought that
What's
was
a moon cricket?
hilarious.
Moon
Yeah.
I said a
cricket.
moon cricket. I said that's what I'm like. At this point, if you're gonna be racist, I want you to be creative and racist. Like
Be
let's
funny with it. Be
like be
funny.
funny. Like you're gonna be racist at this point. Because it's kind of like, okay, cool. When you start throwing out stuff like sun dodger, you know what I'm saying?
Sun Dodger.
Like you start stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Moon cricket.
Colonizer.
I'm just like, what is happening? I don't know,
Say, hey,
man.
you
I just
seen say, hey, you seen that video of the black people and the white people fighting on the dock, right?
Yeah.
That could be us if you keep this up.
that could be us. Look.
Don't make me
My
call my cousins out here.
hey, my
Hey, we
foldable.
come we come out here like Infinity War. Just
Hey, Marcus, look, my foldable in my truck right now. I always keep it on me. I keep it
Keep
on
that
me.
thing on me all the time.
I keep that foldable on me at all times, man. No, man, I just feel like, bro, the,
big
the
folder got
fact,
nothing on me.
I mean, of course, we say jokes, man, but it's just like, dude, like to for you to be racist, man, and I know every person ain't racist. I think that should go unsaid. But to be racist, like, yo, how sucky does your life is to where you hate a group of people that much because they look different to you? Like, how
It's one thing
sucky
to
is your
be
life?
it's one thing to be ignorant and like ask questions of like, let me
Exactly.
understand this better. But it's another thing to just be like, I
Just be
don't want to know
hateful.
better or I know enough and I'm hateful of it. Yeah.
Right. It's like, come on, bro. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Like you can't be out here trying to be racist but hiding your face. It's like, no, man, stand on it, brother. Stand on business.
Hey, hey, the way she looked, and I'm not even gonna say respectfully because she deserves all the disrespect.
Oh, absolutely.
She can't be talking about nobody out here looking like Miss Piggy.
Oh no, I'm gonna have
Right.
to check this out later then.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you don't know, if you're
oh,
listening to this pod and don't know, her name is Celeste Amaria. She looks like
hey,
yeah, she looks like a pig.
hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All the BBLs out there, you can't get you one. Come on now. You telling me all the plastic
And
surgery
she
and
right there next to Brazil too.
is right there, and you just think the Lord doesn't. Nah, brother. Sometimes the
Man,
Lord be out here creating anything.
speaking
Use
of
anything.
speaking of animals, please tell me y'all watched that video of that dude getting run over by that bison.
Oh, dude, I
No,
gotta
you
go back
sent
and
us it.
watch
I
that.
didn't check it out yet.
You
I
I,
gotta
gotta
I
go
see
was
it.
watch
in
that
I
You
was
gotta
video.
in
see it.
church trying to praise the
I don't
Lord,
want
and Mike was over
I
here
don't want
cracking
I don't
jokes.
want to I don't want to ruin it, but please
I
watch it.
I saw still photos. One was him in the air. I was like, yeah, that can't be good.
Look, I
That
It was
can't
like
can't
it's
laugh at
be
like
that.
it's
I
like
was
it's
trying to
like
praise the Lord on a Sunday morning, and Mike's sending violent
hey,
stuff talking
hey,
about I
it's
should be
like
laughing.
it's like one of those scenes in the movie where the guy's like they like cut to a still shot and the guy's like, you're probably why I got here.
Bruh, that's how it felt. It felt like a BET movie. Yeah, this me in the air. Man, it ain't always start right here. Man, let me just take you back to how I got here. Bruh, it
Hey,
was I saw
not even a BT movie like Me TV or
bruh.
Pluto.
Hey Marcus, I saw I just before I hopped on, I just saw still just I just remember seeing one of the pictures because I didn't watch the video yet, and I just happened to come across a picture and it showed this buddy was just in the air. I said, "Oh yeah, he had a bad day. He
Oh
had a
Lord.
bad day." Did
Oh
y'all did
Lord.
y'all did y'all hear that story about this elephant that pretty much I guess this elephant
Showed
got
up to a
beef with it.
funeral.
No, it got beef with a family, and I think it's killed like a couple family members apart of the
Oh
same
Lord.
family,
Look, this
like
just
years
got dark.
apart.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, yo, let me tell you something. Hey guys, if y'all ever beef with an animal, never beef with an elephant. Cause they like when they say it's on site forever,
Yeah,
they're not just talking about you. They talk about
for
you and
real.
your offspring.
Yeah.
There was a story a few years
They
ago.
mean that.
The elephant showed up at the lady's funeral and like flipped her
Yeah,
casket or something.
yeah.
They don't forget
Aren't
when
they
they say
supposed to?
elephant. Don't forget. They don't forget.
They
Is
don't
that whole
forget.
thing from like Zootopia? Them
Petty.
having like really good memories? Is that like a true thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
petty.
Ah,
yeah.
Petty.
I think it was something like maybe it remembered like it killed a cub or a calf of an elephant, and yeah, the lady died, and it showed up to the funeral and trampled the casket.
that's
They said,
crazy.
like you talking about the rest in peace?" They said the rest of it just dirt.
Rest in piss. Rest in
Oh
piss.
man.
Right.
I got another funny story for y'all. So
Uh,
have y'all ever seen the movie Cop and a Half?
uh-uh.
It's this movie from back in the day. And again, I got like two lines that I quote from this movie. So we're in Kentucky visiting a family. So I tell my kids, this is 2 days ago. I'm like, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny line from this movie, but this is not a line that you need to say or that you need to repeat. And so there's a scene in it where it's a little kid and he's like shadowing a buddy cop. It's like Burt Reynolds, but the kid is like an 8-year-old black kid. And so he's like in the bathroom with Burt Reynolds, like just using the restroom, and Burt Reynolds is standing next to him. And he's like, he looks at him jokingly as he's just like an innocent kid. And he's like, let's play swords. And Burt Reynolds is like, what swords? And
Oh Lord.
he's like basically explains it to him. And he's like, my friend Raymond can piss 8 feet. So
Oh
so we
Lord.
so I get back to the house where my kids are with their cousins. Rain, my middle child, runs up to me and says, hey, I told my cousin that line from A Cop and a Half.
Oh no, now you got these dudes pissing at
I
each
was
other,
like,
sword
dude,
fighting and
I was like,
whatnot.
Uh,
dude, come on. What did I tell you?
What did I just tell you?
oh, so I just found that story. So it's an elephant. The same wild elephant has killed four members of one family over 14 years.
Bro, he got his get
Smell,
back, man.
smell, smell,
I
smell
will
the
say
scent
because
of the
I will
family.
say the second like he killed a daughter-in-law and a 4-year-old kid. That ain't cool. But
Yeah,
what
that's a lot.
I don't know if it's just kind of like a thing like this happened or just like coincidence for
He
this
said,
particular incident. But yeah, it's the same. They look and here's the thing, they tried to kill it
he
because
said
I
no
mean
peace
it was
treaties.
aggressive. No, they
Mm-mm.
tried to kill it. They shot it twice. It was wounded. They couldn't find it. That's at this point. This dude's 50 Cent. This other
He
50
said, I'm gonna
Cent.
get my get back even if I get life. Trust me. Man.
Bruh, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm
All right,
cool on elephants, bro.
seriously. All right, well, let's we're gonna come back to the J. Cole
Yes, sir.
concert. Um, I said earlier we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna push that to another week because we're in summer. We're in the dog days coming up, so we'll push that to another week. So let's go ahead and go over to our stuck on a boat draft this week. This week we got biggest draft bust, and this isn't any sport market, so this is not just NBA.
There's only one sport.
The draft order this week is Darius, myself, and then Marcus. Snake draft as always. So Darius, you are up, my friend.
First pick, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Ooh, fair enough. He had all the hype. How long did
He
he
had
last
a
in the league?
Was it like 2 years?
Yeah, a few. They gave him a couple chances, but yeah, he just
Yeah,
wasn't
two,
cutting it.
3.
And,
Yeah,
If
he
uh,
had a talent, man. I thought he was gonna pan out as something he didn't.
if we did like 50 of these, at least 20 of them would be from the Browns, probably. All right,
yeah,
who's next?
That's
yeah.
that's a good
Me,
one.
I'm going. I don't know if y'all remember this dude, but Jamarcus Russell was number one
Yeah,
pick out of LSU quarterback. They
yeah.
joked that they sent him home with a blank film tape to study, and he came back the next day and basically like rifled off what was on the tape,
No,
and then they told him, dude, we sent you home with a blank tape because we didn't think you were watching film. So
no.
that
They
lets you
proved me
know all you
wrong.
need. That lets you know all you need to know about him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's genius. All right.
He tried to cheat the test. They said, no, big dog. No, big dog.
That's insane. All right, I'm gonna go with the third pick will be Anthony Bennett,
I'm
and
finna
I'm
say
choosing
you better
him.
pick him.
Yeah, he's not the biggest name, but there was no injuries. There was no
Yeah,
Yeah.
injuries, no
He just
cases of like a bad shoulder. Just like he just trash.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah,
plain and simple, he just sucked.
his game did not translate well to the league.
Yeah. And then the next one, another big man, and Hashim to beat. And this is one that he was the second pick of I forgot what draft it was, but he was second pick of like 2007 or something like that. And the reason why I think he's the biggest draft bust is because Harden and Curry and DeRozan all came after him. Drew Holiday came after him. It was that draft that had a whole bunch of amazing guards. Blake Griffin was number one. To beat was number two. Like if you're trash and then Steph Curry and Harden comes after you, like, yeah, it makes it a big story. So
Yep, I'm going Michael Olowokandi. He was the number one pick in 1998. That draft had Anton Jameson, Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, and this man was the number one pick in that year. So Michael Olowokandi definitely getting picked for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
historical for sure.
And okay, that's fair. And so I'm gonna go Anthony Richardson for the Indianapolis Colts right now.
Anthony,
Um, yeah, Anthony Richardson. Essentially, he's never really played a full football season as a quarterback, and he
mm-hmm.
came out too early. But he got a lot of shot because of how powerful his arm was. So and even in the draft, he hit the top of the you know how they practice indoors for the draft. Well, he hit the top of the the what do I want to say, like field they were
Field
in.
goal. Oh, okay.
The
Yeah, no,
indoor,
like the indoor stadium there. He hit the top. He hit it twice. And like ever since then, man, he just hasn't panned out. He's not super accurate, straight, strong arms, great athlete. He was the one that was just saying like, it's funny. I can say it's funny, but he had a comment on 520 where he's like, man, like college is harder than the NFL, and then he got hurt and he didn't play
He was
again.
on
And when
520.
yeah, and he was talking about how like the pros was easier than college,
Mm-hmm.
and then he ended up getting hurt. And then Daniel Jones, who was on a trend of not really being a really good quarterback, came into
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis and pretty much was taking them boys to the playoffs until he got hurt.
Dang. What year did this dude get drafted? I'm sorry.
recently,
Yeah, recently it was like it was like
2024.
Yeah, was it
20,
24? Yeah, 24,
23 or
20,
24. He's like
yeah,
number 5 pick.
4,
Okay,
23. Well, 4.
Okay.
got it.
So I'm gonna
Still,
go with
still, still a
him.
little bit to right. Still a little bit of career. So yeah,
Yeah,
it could turn around. But yeah,
I
he's
think he got
definitely up
time to
there.
turn around, but I think right now I don't think he's panning out great.
Yeah.
Okay,
At
all
least for
right.
them. So and
So
then I'll probably say the second pick,
wait,
and
hold up, hold up. You don't get
because
a
I snake
second pick.
draft. I
He
do
does.
snake.
It's snake draft.
Oh, okay, my bad. I lost.
Hey,
I lost where we at. My fault. My fault.
and and again with these bus guys, we just saying what people were pulled. You wait
Hey,
to the pros,
no
bro.
need to no need to
Hey,
dress it up. Just say, hey, we don't mean
hey,
slander. We don't mean it harmful.
we,
It's fun.
I do mean it. All slanderous.
Well, two
well,
of the three of us mean it.
two of the
Mean it
three of
is just
us.
jokes. It's just jokes.
So I want to go with one guy, but I'm gonna just see if y'all take him. But I'm gonna go with this other guy because he had when you talk about cold in college, cold. And I just think I don't think his game truly translated to the NBA. I just don't think he was athletic enough, quick enough to really get his game off. And it's gonna be Adam Morrison.
Woo! I was a fan.
Okay.
I was a
I had him
fan
on my
for
list,
sure.
but yeah,
I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan. I thought he was dope, and his game. I think he was just like a step slower in the league.
I thought he would be better than JJ Redick in the league, and did not happen. But I'm
Yeah,
surprised this dude lasted this long. Kwame Brown, please. I will
man.
say respectfully because this dude will. He's been proven to attack people for their what they say about him. So no disrespect, Kwame, but you got to be drafted up there.
Man, I feel
Kwame
like I don't
Brown.
know. He stayed playing like 12, 13 years in the league, man. I feel like I don't know if I can say you a bust when you play. You
Number one pick. He got a bunch of chances because he was the number one pick, but he was.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop there. I'm
Maybe
gonna stop
Hey,
there.
yeah.
buddy has small hands, man. Leave him alone.
Yeah, maybe the hype of being a number one pick, I guess.
Okay, well, this is another dude. He gets the call because of who he was drafted with. He was drafted at number 2 in the '03 draft. Darko Milicic.
Yep.
Probably could have
Yeah,
had a
he was
decent
a
career, but when you get drafted before Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, and D Wade, like you got to be
yeah.
on this list.
Yeah, no,
And
he was on my list.
yeah, it wasn't. He had a quote recently that he said he came drunk to Pistons practice one time because he was trying to be a bad boy or something like that. So stupid stuff like that
Yeah.
gets you on this list. Um, and then my only non NBA is only here because I heard about this dude so many times. He was in probably Nike commercials before he played one game. He was I remember seeing like 4 different sponsorship commercials with him on it, and I never knew what happened to him. Sam Bradford. Bring that butt
Mm.
here, boy. He was
Is it-
the number 1 pick of the 2010 draft, the
Out
Rams.
of Oklahoma,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember hearing.
yeah,
I'm not an NFL fan. I mean, I'm not a big NFL fan. And for me to hear so much about him and then him just go ghost, he got to be on this list.
that's fair.
I'm gonna go with this one. He did not get drafted over Peyton Manning, but it was much debated about whether he should have been drafted over Peyton Manning out of Washington State. He's turned his life around, has some issues, but he's become an advocate for a lot of good things now. But Ryan Leaf got drafted over guys
Yeah,
like Charles Woodson and Randy Moss, a couple Hall of Famers there. So my last and final pick is gonna be Ryan Leaf, San Diego Chargers '98 draft.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take it back to basketball just because the draft he was in, and they picked him over, who was arguably known as the GOAT in Chicago, Mr.
I'm
Sam
surprised you
Bowie.
said arguably. I'm surprised you said arguably.
I mean, he's my GOAT. He because I'm a Chicago kid,
He's the
so
goat. The goat.
he,
That's why I say I'm surprised you
he's the
say
GOAT.
arguably.
It's not
Oh,
arguable.
I said arguably because now people say they got their own GOAT, so
They wrong.
my GOAT is definitely MJ.
Okay.
Just from the I mean I was a shorty when he was playing, but anyway, Sam Bowie, and I just think I think he probably had the talent. It just health injuries would just weren't on his side, man. I mean, yeah, his health wasn't on his
Cool.
side.
Cool. Go ahead and say your 4 picks again, and then I'll go, and then Marcus go, and then if we want to say our full list.
I got Johnny Manziel, Adam Morrison, Sam Bowie, and Anthony Richardson.
I got Jamarcus Russell, Michael Olowokandi, Kwame Brown, and Ryan Leaf.
I got Anthony Bennett, Hashim Tabit, Darko Milicic, and Sam Bradford.
Cool. Darius, you got anybody else on your list you wanted to mention?
I mean, I had some of the similar ones. Russell, Leaf. Um, I had I had him on here, but I just refused to say him. was Greg Oden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
guys
didn't
that
put him
get
because of
injured
injuries.
is hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Injuries. That's why I refused his hand because injuries just took him. Like his knees just failed him, man. I had Trent Richardson on mine. I had Darko. Let me see. Who else did I have? That's probably my list. Yeah.
I had Jamarcus Russell, Kwame Brown, Michael Olowokandi, Ryan Leaf, and Anthony Bennett, Darko, Sam Bowie, Trey Lance, Akili
Oh yeah,
Smith,
Oh,
Trailer.
Trey
Yeah,
Lance. Dang.
Markel
yeah.
Fultz,
49ers.
Tim Couch, Zach Wilson, Adam Morrison, Marvin Bagley.
So
Dang.
I so so
Y'all
what?
didn't
I
have
mean, James
Wiseman.
Wiseman. I was
Yeah,
just about to
Say it
Wiseman
say,
again.
Wiseman.
and Bagley. Wiseman and
He's
Bagley were my next two.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Bagley's had a decent, solid career as a backup. It's just getting
yeah.
Yeah,
drafted over
Over
Luca
Luca,
doesn't
Trey
really help.
Young. Yeah,
yeah. I feel like Wiseman is
Shea.
almost a yeah. I
Shea,
feel like,
Brunson.
but I feel like Wiseman is also like he's almost the him and Markel Fultz was there because I feel like Markel Fultz had that weird shoulder injury, but then he kind of carved out a pretty decent career. Like, but again, I think it's just where they were drafted, the
Yeah,
the height they
Fultz
had
the
had
coming.
people they were
the
drafted over.
he had the
Yeah,
shoulder
it's like
injury, but then he had the ACL too. As soon as he started getting like clock on Magic, he
yeah.
tore his ACL, and that was kind of
It's
it.
just like it's almost like you start to see why they were drafted, and then they just their body just started failing them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
I never saw Wiseman, so
I feel like Wiseman. I think he was I don't think he fit the Warriors. I think he was drafted the
No,
wrong team.
that
yeah.
was that COVID year too. So that's why he didn't make my top four.
Yeah,
Like they didn't know what they were looking at.
yeah.
Well, fellas, it's been real. This is episode 36, season two. We're winding down season two here in the next couple months as we get into the rest of the NBA offseason. Season three, coming with some new things. Definitely excited about it. But as always, like, rate, subscribe, review. And if we missed anybody on our draft, be sure to give us a shout. We didn't have any Call Me Crazies this week, but definitely looking forward to the rest of this season before we get into season three. But without further ado, fellas, as always, again, it's crazy again that we're at this.
Yeah, we can't hear you, but peace.
Just he
Go
got
ahead, turn the music on because we can't hear you. Right off in the wind.
right off into the wind. See ya.